This is the preparation for my first event, an erotic art show in Miami. So this is me working on a MLP collection of candy beads. Next, it's time to prep some canvases. I personally enjoy mixing primer gesso with my acrylics. Then I started working on some pet themed bookmarks with colored pencils. So I did quite a few little flower themed cats. Yeah, so here's a little close up of that. Here's a little kitten. And I focused a lot on pink for the cat bookmarks, not for any really particular reason. It just seems to be a color that's very prevalent in cats. And, adding a little bit of highlights and everything, make everything pop out. There was, if you can see, there's a little mark on the paw that was not intentional. I'm not entirely sure what that is. It might have been like some pastel that like got marked on the paper when flipping it around or something that got stuck onto it, but I wasn't really able to take it off properly. So that is kind of there on the final marking. So that does bother me a little bit to see. If you want to check out more of my stuff, feel free to find me on my bio site. There's all my socials on there, along with my Ko-fi, where every week I'm adding more stuff there. Some of the pieces that you'll even see in this video or at my shows will be on there, so I hope to see you guys interested in that. Now this one's still flower themed, just a little bit of different kind of flower. On to the next set of bookmarks. It's a bunch of little puppies. This was the last one that I was working on. I'd like to make more bookmarks in the future, but this is what I had done for the event. I actually had another set. It wasn't puppy themed or cat themed or anything like that. It was objects. And unfortunately, because I had started it like the day before the event was supposed to happen, or like the day of, I didn't finish it in time. But I was a little worried because I was like, oh, I don't have enough bookmarks. And it was one of the cheaper items that I was selling. I was only selling them for like $10. So, it was one of those things where I was like, oh, I'm going to need a bunch of these. My original idea for the bookmarks was to put a little bin and have it be a little adopt me box. But I ended up making a different collection of bookmarks, and because those were Halloween themed, it didn't fit the original idea. Now it's time to work on more body pieces, because that was kind of the main theme I was going for the show. A lot of the feedback I ended up getting for this one was that it was very similarly pear-shaped, which, I love drawing a nice pear-shaped body. But yeah, I found that pretty interesting that everybody came to the same consensus that it was very much like a pear, and then they looked deeper into it and they're like, oh, it's a body, So that was fun. I love seeing people's interpretation of the pieces. I did a little furry kind of piece. You know, gotta have the inclusivity in there. Then I wanted to add a little more variation because I had only been doing pieces focusing on women. Adding more pieces to the smaller set, even adding one that is horizontal. This one is called Rose and Thorns. Now, originally, the company that I had purchased cards from wasn't going to get to me in time, so I decided it would be a cool idea to DIY some, and I wanted to make them teabag theme. Unfortunately, they didn't come out the way that I wanted to. Now, back to that canvas I had originally painted. Now, this one is a tea spill, and this one was using gouache. I don't normally use acrylic gouache, so that was a bit of a struggle. And this is a textured canvas in which I did glow-in-the-dark paint. Another acrylic piece of a female form. This one's called Cherry Bomb. Some tags. Then I wanted to use some toned paper and make some quick sketch illustrations. And for this one, I accidentally added a little base of hair at the tail, and so I had to cover that up. So it's just cleaning up the edges, adding some green, and then I did a really cool spotted effect on it too at the end. And here is how the show ended up looking. This was while we were getting set up. Yeah, so I had a nice time at the event, and I'd call it pretty successful, especially for my first time. Thank you for everybody who came and seen me. And I was vending at Dear Eleanor, Glenwood Design District. So I'd love to do another event there again. There wasn't too many people at this event, but you know, made back what I spent, so that's the most important part. And I have another event coming up soon. So it won't be at Eleanor's, it'll be at a farmer's market. So I'm preparing for that one now too. I gotta figure out what I'm doing with that show. Here's as the lights came on and people were starting to come in. I think my pieces showed really nicely in colorful lighting. People were really drawn into the woman's aura piece, which is that red and yellow and orange with the blue top piece that you see in the, like, kind of off to the side of my table. I was drawing a little bit during the show in between orders. Thank you for everyone who came and supported me.